Sorry for the delay here. Some technical difficulties. Facebook just continues to change the way that you go live. You may know that if you do any live streams yourself. But really happy to be on here. Happy Friday to you. Today we're talking about something really relevant to some of you and not as relevant to others. And for that, I'm really grateful. Today we're talking about the two simple reasons you're maybe not getting clients. Well, the two reasons, not even maybe, the two reasons you're not getting clients. That is what today's all about. And we're going to be diving into a kind of an approach and a philosophy that's really unique to this group, but is not unique to marketing and certainly isn't unique to you being successful in your business. So, as we begin to see this increase in the demand for therapy services, we really want to make sure that your marketing is aligned and focused. So that's what today is all about. If you're joining me live, will you say hello in the comments? Let me know you can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me okay. Looks like we have a couple people here trickling in on this Friday afternoon. If this is your first time joining me, we are over 700 strong here in this group over the last few weeks. We've grown a bunch. So if this is your first time seeing my face, hi, I'm Anna. I am a marketing and web strategist, and I work specifically with private practitioners to use and implement marketing that is not just effective, because we want you to get booked out doing what you love. You deserve that. You deserve to make a really comfortable living helping other people, but also that's authentic. That is something that unfortunately I see missing in some private practice marketing advice these days, which is you're being forced to do these things that don't feel genuine to you, or that feel like you're kind of pushing the envelope or a little bit, and we really want to avoid that. Thank you, Courtney. Good that you can hear me, and thank you very much for being here. So that is why we have this group. That's why you'll see these trainings every single week. That's why people post questions and we talk about them. I really want this group to be a resource for you. This is not a place for me to just try and sell you things all the time. The goal is that you can come in here and get really actionable advice and help as you get booked out. So let's dive into these two simple reasons you're not getting clients. The fact is that, like we've talked about, experts are saying, and people are already seeing an increase in the demand for therapy services. If you're not seeing it yet, it could be very much associated with your area, kind of where you are amidst all of this chaos. It's not to say that you're doing all of these things really wrong. I would encourage you to just continue to sort of be patient, but it's really critical that as this demand increases, your practice is set up, right, to meet that demand, kind of catch these people, right, as they come looking. Are you going to be out there being visible in front of these people, showing them that you're the expert that they're looking for? And if not, then we're in trouble, right? Because this is actually, for you as a private practitioner and in your business, this time is a really big opportunity. It's a time for an opportunity for you to be really successful and to grow your practice and to find clients that you really enjoy, and to be able to get a full practice the way that you've been trying to do over the last couple months, especially if you saw a decrease like many practitioners. So we're going to dive in today to the two simple reasons you're not getting new clients, and what exactly you need to do to fix those things. So let's first talk about kind of that philosophy that I talked about that's really sort of unique to this group. If you've been in here a while, you're very familiar with this because it's the core of everything we do, and that is called the client journey. There are 3 stages of the client journey. When someone decides that they're going to look for a therapist, they are completely unaware of you, right? All they know is that they have a problem. They don't know your name. They don't know, where you practice. They haven't started Googling. They are unaware. Then they become aware. That's the second phase of the client journey. They go from unaware to aware. So they learn your name. Maybe they learn your name through Psychology Today or Googling you, talking to their physician or a friend, whatever that is, they're aware. But just because they're aware does not mean that they become a paying client. You know that. You know that people will, have a consultation with you and then ghost you, or will reach out on Psychology Today and then never reply back. Just because they're aware does not mean that they're going to become a client. They have to go from aware to the final stage of the journey, which is sure of you. They need to go from unaware to aware to sure of you. It's only when they get to this point, right, that they're going to become a paying client. Every single client has to go through each of these stages. And some go through it super quickly, right? Some make a decision about you in a day. They see your Psychology Today profile, they visit your website, they reach out, and boom, we're off to the races. Others take weeks or months, right, to cross this journey. But the fact is that every single client you currently have, every single client you will have in the future goes through this journey and spends some time in each of these phases. All that marketing does, marketing is not about selling or pushing your services on people. all that your marketing is doing is helping people cross this journey to get from unaware to sure, right? So how do you get people through the journey? You have to get them from unaware to aware, and then you have to get them from aware to sure. That is what marketing does. So if you're not getting clients, then what are the two reasons why? They're either not aware of you or they're not sure of you. Those are the two problems. But what do you do with that, right? And how do you know if that's the issue that's going on? So the first problem is early in the journey. They're not aware of you. What do you do if this is the problem? People obviously can't become a client of yours if they don't know you exist, like we talked about. If they just stay in that unaware phase, then you're not getting any clients, right? So we need to get them to that awareness stage, but we can't just expect to like put your name out into the universe and expect people to find you. You have to be really intentional about that. So the easiest ways to do this are a really, really strong focused Psychology Today profile, an SEO friendly website so that when people type into Google, they find you. Referrals, right? Referrals with other therapists in your network, with other, physicians and contacts in your community. So if you are looking at your marketing and you're thinking about, wow, no one's landing on my website. I'm not seeing really good results on my Psychology Today profile. Like the phone isn't ringing. The problem may be not that there's anything wrong with the way that you're marketing yourself or your social media or what you have on your website, but they simply don't know that you exist, right? So do you have each of these three things? Do you have a really strategic, effective, targeted Psychology Today profile? If your Psychology Today profile isn't working, I want you to ask yourself why. It's not because your ideal client isn't on Psychology Today, because I can guarantee you that they are. So how are you standing out from all the other clinicians when they scroll through? Do you have a good headshot, right? When you think about the experiences someone has in Psychology Today, do you have a good headshot? Do you have a strong hook? The hook is the first 1 to 2 sentences of your profile, the only thing that's shown as someone is scrolling and deciding whether or not to click in. And then when they click in, do you have really compelling, client-focused, niched down copy that is connecting with these people? And now do you have a really great video? We'll talk about that a little bit later, but do you have a really, really good video? Are you making a connection? Are you standing out and saying, hey, I'm the expert you're looking for? If the answer is no, then you know where you need to work, right? You know where you need to do some optimization. You can't just expect to throw up a Psychology Today profile and expect people to find you, because they will just scroll right on past you and they will stay in that unaware phase for way longer than any of us want, right? We need to get them along this journey. Psychology Today is a really great way to do that, but only if you're doing it the right way. Otherwise, you won't see the results you want. Next, an SEO-friendly website. So, again, similar to a Psychology Today profile, you can't just throw up a website with, your headshot and a bio about where you went to school and your beautiful logo. That is not going to get the job done when it comes to SEO, right? For a really SEO-friendly website, you need to have a good chunk of content. The number one ranking websites on page 1 of Google have an average of 2,200 words on the first page. And that's not to say that your website homepage needs to have 2,200 words. It doesn't. But it does say that you need to show Google, hey, this is a worthy website to show this person that's looking for therapy for anxiety or grief counseling or binge eating disorder therapy, whatever that is, whatever your niche is, you need to really make sure that you're talking about that so that you're communicating to Google, hey, I know my stuff, right? You need to have individual specialty pages. This is the number one piece of feedback I give to therapists when we sit down for our strategy sessions together. If you don't have an individual page for therapy for anxiety and therapy for depression and therapy for trauma or play therapy for children, whatever your niches are, each specialty needs to have its own page. Otherwise, Google's going to be like, cool, you have this bulleted list of all the different types of things that you do. I don't know whether to rank you for this or that because you're not showing me anything specific, right? Google is looking for you to be really, really niched and specific and display some expertise about those things. And that's what individual specialty pages will do. You need to have relevant keywords. I know that SEO probably, I know you've probably heard those terms and you're like, oh, what do I even do with this? Keywords are simply what are your ideal clients typing into Google in order to hopefully find your website? those keywords, those phrases, those terms, those need to be threaded into your content, right? And that's another reason that we need to have a good chunk of content on your website so that you can really be talking about those things. Therapy for anxiety, anxiety therapy, treatment of anxiety, anxiety therapist. These are things that need to naturally be incorporated into your copy so that Google can read, right? Those robots that crawl your website can read this and say, oh, she must be an anxiety therapist. When someone comes looking for anxiety therapy near me, all of a sudden Google knows that's what this page is about. I'm going to go ahead and show this page because she clearly knows what she's talking about. So you really need to have that SEO friendly website when it comes to people being able to find you and get out of that unaware stage to begin with, right? And then referrals. I want to challenge you. Have you reconnected with referral sources since this whole thing began? Because this is a powerful, powerful time. The increase in demand for therapy services means that everyone, pastors, physicians, other therapists, gym owners, whatever, all of them are going to be hearing it too, right? They're going to be interfacing with people that are struggling in this time. And that means that you need to be showing up as this really relevant and helpful resource that is ultimately top of mind to refer those people to, right? And this isn't transactional. This isn't going to someone saying, hey, here's my business card, please send me referrals. It's you being a valuable, helpful person to that referral source so that they are inclined to then share your name with others. I did a training on how to network in the post-COVID world. If you haven't seen that and you would like me to tag you in it, just drop a yes in the comments, and after the video, I'll make sure that you're tagged, because it is critical right now that you are reconnecting with those referral sources so that as this demand increases, these people that are also hearing it are thinking, oh yeah, Anna, yeah, oh yeah, Anna was great. She sent me that really helpful resource. I can hand it over to my patient about parenting right now, and all of a sudden that parent's like, oh wow, Anna really knows what she's talking about, and here we are, right? We've strengthened the relationship, and you have really begun to create that awareness that people otherwise would not have had about you. All right, so those are the things I want you to change if people aren't aware of you. If you're worried that you're not getting your name out there and that people just simply don't know you exist, start with those 3 things. Number 1, an effective Psychology Today profile. Number 2, an SEO-friendly website. Number 3, referrals. Make sure that you're reconnecting with people in this time. It is so, so critical. This is not the time to be blending in or to be going dark or being quiet, right? We want you to be in front of people, being helpful and being relevant. And then problem number 2, and this is the one that unfortunately I see more often, is that they're not sure of you. So they're going from unaware to aware, and then they're dropping off. And that's painful to think about. Like, people know your name and then they decide not to work with you. That doesn't feel good, right? So if I asked you the question, why do your current clients, the ones you just see right now, why do they come to work with you? Why do they choose you? I really want you to ask yourself that question. Whatever the answer is, you have to be communicating those things in your marketing. Those things have to be so clear on your website. Those things have to be threaded into your social media and your blog content and the way that you talk about yourself, because it is going to be those things that get them from unaware to sure, right? Or from aware to sure, sorry. I so often will sit down with a client or a therapist for the first time in a strategy session, and they will have sent me their website before, and I can take a look at it, and I will take some notes so that I come prepared. And oftentimes the very first question I ask is, so what's your niche? Who do you work with? And they're like, oh, I work with this person. And I'm like, I looked at your website and I did not know that. It was not clear to me that you are, a specialist in anxiety for teens, or that you offer, transition therapy for seniors, because you weren't saying it, right? And so if someone lands on your website right now and you're not able to communicate that you're the expert and you're really that thought leader and that person that they've been looking for, then they're going to drop off. And I don't want them to drop off. I want them so badly to choose you, because I know that you're good at what you do and I know you can bring value to these people, but they don't know that yet, right? They don't know that yet. They're motivated by the challenges that they're having, and they want to know that someone else understands them and can help them feel better. And that is what this second part of the journey has to be about. Your website is the number one driving force in someone becoming sure of you. Sometimes, oftentimes, for many therapists, it's the only thing they need to get people on off that final through that final stage of the journey, right? Studies show that clients are going to look at between 5 and 7 different websites in their search for a therapist. So it's not enough to just have a website, right? Your website has to pull its weight. So your website should not just be a billboard about you and about your experience and about the type of therapy you like to do or you're passionate about. It needs to be focused on the problems that your client is experiencing, the relief you can ultimately offer them and help them get to, right? And how your expertise lends itself to that. Okay, that needs to be really, really clear. The other things that are going to get people through this final stage of the journey, your Psychology Today profile video. That is something, if you're on my email list, you got some pointers about what to put in your video this week. And this is a really simple update that Psychology Today made, but so powerful because it very well may close the deal for a lot of potential clients, because they're going to go from unaware to aware by clicking into your Psychology Today profile. They're going to read your Psychology Today profile, watch your video, and there will be clients that will become sure of you, reach out to you and say, hey, you're the client or you're the therapist I want to work with, because you've done such a good job of communicating what it is that you do and how you are that expert and what step to take next. So your Psychology Today profile video is a huge tool right here. Do not neglect this. Don't stress out about, oh, I don't like being on video or I have to get dressed or whatever. Just throw on a sweatshirt and talk to the camera like you would talk to your ideal client, because that is what you're doing, right? Your social media channels. Your social media channels are a really great way, once someone learns about you, to learn more about you and more about your approach and your voice and your expertise in a certain area. So your social media needs to be talking about how you help people in this niche and give some value about, hey, here's some tips to think about if you're really struggling through, feeling really anxious during the workday. All of a sudden, someone that lands there is like, she just wants to help. And obviously she knows what she's talking about, because I find myself in that situation Monday through Friday, right? Your email strategy. If you choose to do email marketing and have some sort of, if you use ConvertKit or MailChimp or something like that to reach out to clients, make sure that you're also communicating these types of things there, because that is going to be another way that you build this relationship. Obviously, if someone's on your email list, they know who you are, but if they haven't reached out yet, it could be that they're not ready for therapy, which is a-okay. But when they're ready for therapy, we want your emails to have done a really good job of, again, positioning you as an expert and showing off the warmth and the connection and the empathy that you offer, and show them what to do next, right? If you're ready to, dive into therapy, then schedule a free consultation with me, right? We want to be able to guide people to that next step. And then last but not least, if you blog, blogging is a really, really, really powerful conversion method to get people from aware to sure. So if you're blogging, you need to be blogging about the things that people ultimately choose you for. So this second problem that we're talking about, them not being sure of you, this just comes back not to the fact that you're doing anything wrong, but that you just need to get clearer about what you're doing. Because you have clients right now that love you. And they love you for a reason. And whatever that reason is, I want you to do some looking inward, figure out what that reason is. Maybe you know it off the top of your head, and look at your marketing and say, is my marketing communicating these things? We don't want people to have to work with you to know what makes you you and what makes you so valuable. We want that to be what you start the relationship with in your marketing, right? We want that to lead them into their relationship with you and ultimately get them to that final stage of the journey. So friends, this journey, this client journey, can seriously simplify your entire marketing strategy. It is the exact formula that I use when I work with my clients one-on-one. It's the exact formula that you are seeing from clinicians who are posting in this group about having gotten clients, for the first time in a month or something. You're getting 5 new clients last week. They are all using this journey as the foundation. So I really, really encourage you, if you've never thought about your marketing in this way, think about where your client is on the journey and talk to them about what they need to talk to them in a way that will get them just to the next stage. We don't need to get someone from unaware to sure in one thing, right? Every bit of your marketing serves a different purpose. So look at your marketing and say, how can I get someone to the next stage from right here, right? How can I get them to be aware of me? Okay, now how can I get them to be sure of me? So think about why people love you and think about why you're an expert and get that out there. That is at the foundation of this. And as you think about where people are on the journey, you will be able to clarify the areas that you need to improve in your marketing, and you'll also be able to see what's working really, really well. And that means that you'll begin to create this engine, right? This engine, this marketing engine in your business that can literally bring in clients on autopilot. And that is the goal. And that is what therapists who use this formula ultimately get to experience. And that is exactly what I want for you. So friends, if you have any questions, if you want to be tagged in that referral training that I mentioned, whatever it is, just drop some comments. Related to that in this video. I would love to know what you learned here. And if you have any questions, we can continue chatting there. But I so appreciate each of you. I love getting to do these marketing trainings. I hope you enjoy the long weekend. Hopefully you're not seeing clients on Monday and you can just enjoy the 3 days, and we will talk next week.